Good morning. Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing? Welcome to tea time. We are fully ready to get going with our live this morning. I am just making sure that I have all my peeps logged in. So I'm now making sure that my TikTok fam is sign up. Can I tell you that I'm really enjoying my TikTok community and my YouTube folks? Like, you guys have really been showing up. Good morning over there on TikTok. Hello. Maybe TikTok people should come over to YouTube. How is everybody doing, guys? It is the holiday season. Yes, that is correct. We are literally 4 days away from Christmas. Can you believe it? I actually feel like I am kind of just catching up. I don't know. It feels a little weird for me this year, like timing wise, because usually by now I feel like I'm fully like ready for the holidays and fully in it. But I think because I started a little bit late with like putting up my decorations and stuff, I think because I started that process a lot later, it feels like it's a bit soon. Like I woke up and oh my gosh, it's gonna be Christmas in a couple of days. I also don't love it when Christmas is in the middle of the week. Are you like that? Like I like when my Christmas is on like a Thursday. Thursday's like, I mean, that's still in the week, but Thursday is literally the perfect day for Christmas because the next day is Friday. And if you're in the Caribbean, or certainly in Jamaica or in the UK, the 26th day after Christmas is Boxing Day. So that's a holiday too. And then you just roll right into the weekend. I love that. But when it's on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, kind of, anyway, I digress. How are you guys doing? Make sure that you have your morning cup of joy. Make sure you get your tea. Today, we are going to be talking about all things self indulgent. Okay. So, if you don't yet have your warm cup of joy, please go grab it, whether it's your coffee or your cup of tea. This morning, I'm going to be doing ginger and turmeric with a little lemon juice. I've been actually having a bit more of that this week because I don't know if I'm already too indulgent in the Christmas cake, but my stomach has not been too happy with me. Okay. So I'm trying to repair the damage before I before I get to Christmas Day. All right, guys. So how is everybody doing? How's the week? It's been pretty intense for me. I've been working a lot and really looking forward to just having some time off with family. The kids are home for the holidays. It's just going to be really, really amazing. I'm excited about just spending time with family. I think this is this is me and my Aki. I love to hang out with my family and meet up back with friends that you haven't seen in a long time. Speaking of which, my tea, I went back to that Mystic Thai place last night. So in Kingston, they have a restaurant. It's actually in Mobays where the first one was open, and then they opened one in Kingston. I think it was last year or year before. Restaurant named Mystic Thai. So I've been a couple times. It's pretty decent, has good Thai food. And then I don't know is who convinced the people to turn it into a club on Friday nights, but let me just tell you, if you want to experience Ibiza in Jamaica, then you definitely want to go to Mystic Thai. I mean, they start charging after, I think it's like 10 o'clock that they start to charge you to actually get into the restaurant, aka club, right? But if you remember that episode where I told y'all that I saw my ex-boyfriend at the club, it was actually at the restaurant that became a club in the middle of the night, right? So I went back there last night. No, I wasn't going back there to look for the ex-boyfriend. I was going back because the vibes, oh my gosh, the vibes were really nice. And then turns out that two of the DJs were actually friends of mine. Well, one is actually my daughter's teacher, but that's a separate story. But yeah, a couple of the DJs, I knew them, and I was now even more expectant. Like, oh, I didn't realize that these persons play music like that. I'm really excited to see what they can do. Did not disappoint. It was so good. And it just made me feel like, yeah, I'm worth going out. I'm worth dressing up and looking all of, the niceness, all the nice ways and going out and enjoying myself. I don't know if it was about the season necessarily, but I can tell you that a lot of people, it was packed. It caught. A whole heap of people was there. And the music, it's primarily, I think it's EDM. that they call it. Yeah, it was a lot of that. And I mean, and then you mix in the reggae, you mix in the soca with the EDM. It's just like fabulous. Like, yeah. And you see all the people them, and you get to people watch and watch people get drunk and do all kind of craziness. Yeah, I did not get drunk myself. I was not one of those persons doing all the craziness. Um, but I did people watch quite a bit. And then on my way home now, I dropped off my friends and then I was driving home. And my car is pretty darkly tinted. I don't know if my car look like it's some kind of bad man car or something, but police always pulling me over and then pull me over like with intention, because you can't really see inside the car. And it's a pretty fluffy car. It's a nice vehicle. And I tell you, in the middle of the night, 1:30 in the morning, I hear rolling up to my house, and here comes one big police stop. I guess they're trying to find people that drinking and driving. One piece of fanning down, him fanning Stacy down, like, pull over. And I'm like, hey, officer, what's up? Good night. You have to nice and smiley, because, well, don't give them your number, but, they might ask, but just be nice and they let you go. Of course, the police is asking me if I'm armed and dangerous. I was like, Anywho, so as I was driving home, I had already like done all my notes for tea time on a completely different topic, guys. I'll be honest. I had done my notes. I had set up my live on both TikTok and YouTube. And then literally driving home, and it hit me that I want to talk about something else. And it's like I didn't feel the topic exactly before I went to my bed. I mean, granted, by the time I got home, it was almost 2 o'clock, right? And I have to be on here at 8:30. So I was like, okay, in the morning, I will know what to do. And so be it. In the morning, I knew what to do. So today we are talking about self-indulgence, right? We're talking about self-indulgence because what I find is that we spend a lot of effort on Christmas. Like, the Christmas effort is turned up to a whole other level. Don't you think so? Don't you think that? Don't you realize how much, even if you're not into the season, even if you're a Grinch, the effort at Christmas time, whether it's extra work or extra time off to escape the holiday madness, we are very, very intentional about this season in particular. You will have other seasons. You will have the Easter come around and summer, whatever, and you'll have your practices. But when it hit Thanksgiving, from the end of November all the way till January 2, it's like the level is up here. So it's like just turned all the way up. And I realized that we are so deliberate about making sure that we buy all the gifts, we ship all the things to all the people. Sometimes we're traveling all over the place, right? We have to travel to see family, to see friends, to do, whatever. We're taking extra care of ourselves. I mean, you will see people that don't look like them comb them hair the entire year, and then come 2 weeks before Christmas. Oh my gosh, them got barber, them get perms. Like, and I'm not talking like you have people like rocking a hairstyle. No, I'm not talking like if you have a rock, a look that you're rocking and you may tidy up at the holidays. No, I'm talking about literally, you just kind of like a wallflower during the entire year, and then boom, Christmas come and you popped right out. All of a sudden, you are like, on and popping, right? The woman, you can't get a lash appointment to save your life if you do your lashes. Like, nails are booked up from. I booked my nail appointment. My nail esthetician was like, you need to book now because all of the Christmas season appointments are booking up. And this was October. She was telling me this. Okay, October. I was like, wow, so everybody getting them nails, them hair, them lashes. You might all find some people get the lip stain and the eyebrow thing, right? So the women are doing the extra pretty up. And then the guys, them are do the extra shave up or whatever. They might take out the one good shirt or them wear. This is when people will go into them savings account to buy the gifts, or the little nest egg to buy the gifts. They're visiting family, or, this is the time where they think about having not seen grandma for however long. And then beside that, I'm going to visit grandma. It's just one of those times a year where we are extraordinarily intentional. And we are, even when you think about being joyful and peaceful, some people, them just upset all year long. Them just vexed. It's like they're miserable with the world. It's like no matter how good their lives is, them just screw face all the time. And then the holiday come around and you just hear them, Merry Christmas, all the best. And you're wondering, oh, they can actually say a kind word. Oh my gosh, I did not know this. Right? So what you find is that, I as the season approaches, we just get into this space that is far more intentional about joy and happiness and peace of mind and contentment. And I wondered, well, what if we were to apply the same kind of energy throughout the course of the year? And with the season comes the new year and comes a lot of thoughts about who you want to be and what you want to do. And, this is where also people spend a lot of time thinking about that. And I thought, as we soaked up the festive vibes, I really wanted to ask you guys a powerful question. Why don't we give ourselves the same love and indulgence that we pour into the holiday season? I'm going to ask that question again. Why don't we give ourselves the same love and indulgence that we pour into the holiday season? Think about it. We spend time, energy, and money on others. We go to great lengths to make the season magical. Suppose it's in my house, it looked like Narnia up in here, right? But what if we redirected some of that energy towards ourselves, our growth, and our personal expansion? So that's what we're going to be exploring this morning, the benefits of being selfish in a way that elevates our lives. Okay? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Thank you so much. First thing that I want to do is pull an intention card. I was over here shuffling, guys. And the intention card that I pulled for this morning just happens to be perfect. I love when this happens. I love when I pull a card and it's like the perfect card for the conversation. So today's intention is, I am connected to my highest self. I am connected to my highest self. So that's what it looks like. Yeah. I'm connected to my highest self. And the affirmation says, I embrace the fullness of my soul being and receive the vision of my true self. I embrace the fullness of my soul being and receive the vision of my true self. Oh, I love that. Love, love, love. All right. So that's our card for today. We're talking about being self-indulgent. We're talking about being selfish. We're talking about being self-centered. That's literally what we're doing today. So the first thing that I want us to understand is the holiday indulgence. And then I want to compare that to the self-indulgence. Right? So when you think about the holidays and how much we go all out in the buying and the spending and the attending all the events and so forth, we stretch ourselves. We're stretching ourselves beyond the norm. Even when it comes to like going to work, you'll find that we will do, extra time. We do all of this stuff so that we can create this magical experience. And the reason why we do it is because it feels worth it more than normal at this time of the year. Yeah, it feels worth it. It feels like we're creating beautiful moments, or we're co-creating beautiful moments with other people. It feels like we're creating beauty for others. It feels like the one time where maybe you didn't think about other people, this is when you're going to do it. Yeah. Ginger turmeric with lime and honey for the tummy. And I didn't even drink any alcohol last night. I didn't drink any alcohol. I had ordered a mojito and I never get it because the place did a ram up, pack up with people. Mystic Ty is doing all things. And Then by the time I realized that basil mojito not coming, all the margarita, all know the margarita can't reach. Reach home, the margarita don't reach it. Okay, moving on. So the holiday mindset, as I was saying, feels like you're stretching yourselves to be all things for all people. And you do the dress up and the nice up and the take care of yourself a little bit extra. But it does feel like it's worth it during this time. And I mean, everybody's doing it, right? So it even feels normal because everybody's doing it, right? And I don't think we stop to actually ask ourselves or to realize how our energy changes during the season so that we can look at why don't we pour that energy into our personal development, into our mental wellness, into our mental strength, into our dreams. Why don't we pour that energy into the year as opposed to just during this, I would say 6 weeks, because I start to count from right before Thanksgiving, because of course I'm American too, right? So before Thanksgiving, you start to see the excitement, and then you're leading up to the holidays, up to Christmas, Thanksgiving holidays, and you have the Christmas holidays, and then you have New Year. So it's this entire period that's like 6 weeks long, where all of the magic and the beauty and the excitement and the energy and everything comes. And this is when we decide that we're going to focus on a lot of external things, a lot of external things, a lot of outside things. Imagine the transformation if for 1 year, we treated our personal expansion, our ability to access and reach into our highest self, our soul being. Imagine if for 1 year, we treated our personal expansion like we treat the holiday season. Imagine if you did that. Imagine if you were so self-indulgent for 1 year that you were able to just completely transform your life. Here is what happened though. There's a big disconnect. There's a big disconnect about being self-centered and being selfish. And I actually think it may have been created to make sure that women took care of the home and took care of their families, because we're taught, especially women, to serve. We're taught to focus on others and to serve others. For men, you are taught to provide for others and to be there for others, to be strong for others. So on both sides of the fence, male or female, any being, you are taught to focus externally, to be nice, turn the other cheek, do the thing, help everybody, da 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 da. And then at Christmas time, all of the songs, all I want for Christmas is you. No, I want me for Christmas. Like, how about that? Like, all I want for Christmas is me. Like, just think about the transformation if for 1 year we treated ourselves and our personal expansion and the attention that we give our awareness and our consciousness, if we treated ourselves like we treat the entire holiday season for that little short period of time. Yeah? The disconnect is that we're conditioned to see self-focus as selfish in a negative way. And it's almost like a trap, because you get so focused on everything and everybody else that you spend all of your time scrolling the feed, looking at what everybody else is doing and achieving. And you end up wishing that you had created more for yourself by the time you actually get to this season. Yeah? Here's a twist. True self-indulgence doesn't have anything to do with ignoring other people. People think that when you are selfish, it means that you don't think about or focus on other people. That's the definition that we've been taught. But what is true is that it's not about ignoring others. It's about giving yourself the tools to show up as your best self for you first. And then you can show up as your best self for everybody else. That's really what it's about. But we spend so much time thinking that selfishness and self-centeredness is a bad thing. And I can't be self-centered. Them selfishy, them just think about themselves. I am so self-centered right now, guys. I'm a very selfish person. And I just want to get more selfish. Because what I've found is that when I was selfless, and being the good wife and the good mother and all the good things, I wasn't focusing enough on me. I was pouring from an empty, dusty cup. And so what ended up happening is that all the other people may have been well taken care of, or maybe not, maybe, and I was suffering on the inside and the outside. And it resulted in cancer, it resulted in mental illness, it resulted in divorce, it resulted in losing my house, it resulted in all kinds of popping down. So catch me 14 years later, and I'm fully selfish. I am fully about my feel good, because if my feel good is not operating, then nobody else's feel good is going to work out, because eventually the walls come crumbling down. You cannot maintain a life where you are fully focused and pushing for and about everybody else and putting yourself on the back burner because you don't want to seem selfish or self-centered, and expect that your body, your mind is going to be sustained. It's not, it just doesn't work. You're going to end up in a state of unhappiness, unfulfilled desires, wishing and wanting people would show up for you the way you show up for them, and ultimately not being able to manifest the life of your dreams. That's what happens. And so for a lot of you that are out there, that's what is happening with you now, is that you are stuck in the disconnect. You're stuck in the disconnect where you're thinking that being self-indulgent is about ignoring everybody else's needs and focusing on me and making it all about me. When what is true is that being self-centered and self-focused is about giving to you so that you can give to others. So I'm going to help you all out. I'm going to help you out. That's what tea time is about. I give you the tea. I give you the tea on how to live a better life. That's what it's about. So let's get to it. I'm going to give you the 3 areas or the 3 pillars of self-indulgence, but the right way, because you do have some really selfish, nasty people out there. That's not what that's not what we're about, right? We're not about being horrible people in the world. We're about being self-indulgent in a way that supports us. So let's talk about the 3 pillars of self-indulgence. And it's easy, guys. I like to give you easy things to remember, okay? So the 3 pillars of self-indulgence that are going to help you to transform your life, to manifest the life of your desires in 2025, because we're going to use 2025 and do this. It don't make sense to talk about it and you don't do it, right? 3 pillars of self-indulgence are awareness, mindfulness, and confidence. Simple. Awareness, mindfulness, and confidence. Those are the 3 pillars of self-indulgence. I'm going to explain them, and then I'm going to tell you guys exactly what you need to do to put this in action, right? Because you can start now. You don't have to wait until January 1st or 2nd, 2025. You can start right now in the middle of all the excitement and the drama that goes on at the holidays. So awareness is the first pillar. And awareness is the foundation of personal growth. That's really where things will start to shift in your life, when you realize who you really are. It's about knowing who you are, what you want, and where you stand right now in getting to that. Right? So when you think about awareness, think about what you want. Because a lot of times we focus on what you don't have and what you're upset about and what you feel miserable about, what don't feel good, which is normal, right? Because that's just how we're programmed. So if we were to switch, you start off by asking yourself, what do I truly desire? What do I desire? Where am I holding myself back in my life? When we indulge in awareness, we get clarity about that stuff. We get clarity about what matters most to us and where we need to focus our energy. Especially when you have a lot of things and people to take care of in your life, we spend a lot of time worried about what matters to them. not focusing enough on what matters to us, to you, right? So the first thing that you have to do when you're stepping into that space of, well, it's okay, let's become aware. What does it mean to become aware? What do I truly desire? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself, where am I holding myself back? Where am I holding my life back? So that you can gain that clarity on what you want, what matters to you, and where you're going to focus your energy. The second pillar is mindfulness. So, mindfulness helps you to live in the moment of that awareness. And it helps you to live in the moment without feeling overwhelmed by all the distractions. If you didn't watch Tea Time last week, then you want to go check it out. It's on my YouTube channel, Stacy TV at I am Stacy Hines. You want to go watch it because I actually talk about getting rid of stress. And one of the ways that we talk about getting rid of stress is to put some mindfulness in place so that you can relieve yourself of the overwhelm and the burnout and the anxiety that comes with the season, all because of all of the distractions, right? So during the holidays, we're present in celebrations. We're going out, we're present in the traffic. You complain about the traffic and you're running around and you have a lot of work because a lot of times people are going off on holiday and they try to cram all this work into the season before they get off. So when you're in that space, you're not being very mindful, you're not being very present, you're not being aware, right? So mindfulness actually helps you with the first pillar of awareness. It helps you to connect with who you are, what you desire, what matters most in this now moment. So a simple way that you can do that is to take 10 minutes each day, even in this manic season, and meditate or journal or just sit in silence. I know for some of you that sounds really crazy. Like, oh my God, how can I sit quiet for 10 minutes? My mind is going to drive me mad. But I'm telling you guys, it's such a gift to be able to just take 10 minutes of your time and just chill. Just be, not Netflix and chill either, or feed, Instagram, TikTok feed and chill. No, just by yourself, nothing, no distraction, just you. Yeah? And then another thing that you can do is you can pay attention to what your thoughts are saying. Are they helping or are they hindering your progress? Right? I realized that last night because when you get together with your girlfriends, because it was girls' night out, when you get together with your girlfriends, that's one of the times where you tend to sit down and you tend to talk about just where you are and what's going on in your life, and it's all of the catch up. And that's a good time to actually observe what your thoughts are doing, because your thoughts are usually what come out in your mouth, out of your mouth as words. Right? Let me say that again. Your thoughts are actually what usually come out of your mouth as words. And so you can actually see what you're thinking about because you can hear yourself, speaking about it. So you want to pay attention to what has your attention. You got that? You want to pay attention to what has your attention. That is a simple way of being mindful and allowing yourself to be a bit more self-indulgent. When you are in that space of mindfulness, it actually allows you to be able to create more intention with your action. So if it is that you're thinking about focusing on yourself some more or understanding what matters most to you, those little things that you do to just be more present, it helps you with intentional action. And those intentional actions are what lead you to being transformed. Okay. So we've done pillar 1, which is awareness. We've done pillar 2, which is mindfulness. Now, pillar 3 is confidence. And I'm throwing confidence in there because one of the things I recognize is that we give people a lot of tools in this space where you're teaching people about personal development, but a lot of times you give them the tools, you teach all the things, and then they just don't have the confidence to actually do anything about it. So confidence is the actual fuel for manifestation. It is the fuel to bring the faith that you are putting out there into fruition. Okay? It's the belief that you deserve the life you want. You deserve to have what matters most to you. And you have the power to actually create it. I had a really great conversation last night with one of my girlfriends. It was 3 of us that were out, and we were talking about one area of life where we may feel like we're not fulfilled. And we were like, but we need to create that because, you create your reality. You create your reality, guys. I know sometimes it may not seem like that, but it's so true. Whether good or bad or indifferent, you create your reality, period. And in realizing that you create your reality, it's not just one area of your life you're creating. People think that, oh, I can work hard and I can build wealth, and so I can create that, but I'm not able to create the love experience I want because somebody else is involved. But aren't other people involved in you making money or you building wealth? I think so, right? Some people think, yeah, you can create the body that you want. You can create the, go to the gym and work it out and do all the things and be all snatched. You can create that, but I can't create the spiritual life that I want, or I can't create the spiritual experience that I want because I don't know how to do that, But ultimately, whatever it is, the four corners of life, you can create what you want. However, you need fuel. You need fuel, and confidence is that fuel. Confidence is what keeps that fire within you burning so that you can have the power to create it. And you can start building that confidence by celebrating the small wins. You can start building the confidence by speaking kindly to yourself. Some simple things, just talk nice to yourself. I remember in Jamaica for a while, they had this phrase going, it may still be going. Talk to me nice. Talk to yourself nice. Don't wait for nobody to talk nice to you. Talk to yourself nice. Right? And confidence also allows you or puts you in the practice or habit of taking one bold step, one small step, one step, small, big in between toward the goal that you want to achieve. Every single week, just take one little step towards what you want to create. I mean, that's ultimately why I'm here. That's why I'm as consistent as I can be with my tea time, with you guys, with my community, because I'm taking that one small step to creating the life that I want, which actually involves being a teacher of mindset principles, mindset transformation. So this is my one small step that I take every week to make sure that I'm connecting with my community. So those are your three pillars. Awareness, which allows you to be really focused on personal growth. It's the foundational part. It's about knowing who you are and what matters to you. Mindfulness, which helps you to actually live in the moment, to use that awareness to your advantage by being present. And then confidence, which is the fuel that you'll use once you are clear about where you want to go, who you want to be. It's the fuel that you're going to use to create the life that you desire and deserve. Okay? Now, when you think about, well, how am I going to use those things to manifest my life? I mean, it just sounds kind of frou-frou, woo-woo. How am I going to actually manifest the things I want? Because everybody's on this manifestation tip. But when you are mindful and present, then you can actually be intentional with your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And that is where manifestation comes to life. Your thoughts, your words, and your actions that come through that mindfulness work, that awareness work, that is where you step fully into the power of creating the life that you want. So your thoughts shape your reality. Remember, we were talking just now about you can create your world, like you actually create the experience of life that you're having. Well, your thoughts shape your reality. Neville Goddard, who's one of the teachers that I follow, he says, your imagination is actually the most powerful tool that you have. But some of us will put the imagination from the background. When we hear about visualization, we think about vision boards. We don't think about just daydreaming and imagining an amazing life experience, or imagining the kind of love that we want, imagining the kind of career experience that we want, imagining the kind of fitness that you want to experience. We don't think about using our imagination. We want to put together some pictures on a board and leave it and think that that's manifestation. No, you have to activate that thought. And then through your thoughts, you now have to start speaking the words that are going to actually create the environment for the life you want to thrive. So your words are like spells. Your words are like the way that you speak life into your dreams. Your words are your wand. Your words are literally the way that you shape your desires. No matter what your religious beliefs are, the conversation in every single religion about the way that you use your words is consistent. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Like it doesn't matter what you grab for, your words shape how you experience life. So when you think about the language that you use every day, I can't, or it's going to be hard, or I'm sorry, you keep apologizing for the life you're experiencing like you don't want it. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry for. I mean, think about the words that you use on a day to day basis and look at the life around you. That's what you're experiencing. So you have your thoughts, your words that lead into your actions because behavior follows that path. Actions are where the magic actually happens. Even small, consistent steps can create monumental changes. These small actions help you to build up momentum around the thoughts and the words that you're speaking. This is where the momentum comes in, the mindful momentum comes in. And you need that momentum in order to manifest. You need to build momentum around a certain thought process, a certain set of words coming out of your mouth, a certain set of actions. All of those things need a certain amount of momentum in order to create the life that you want. Now, with all of this conversation about being selfish and self indulgent, I want to invite you guys to think about doing that for your year ahead. I always say you can start now, but what is true, guys, you know that come January is when everybody start to think about the new me. New year, new me, right? So I'm going to challenge you to think about 2025 as your year of self-indulgence. You know how people always have a word for the year, or some people. I always have a word for the year. I have a word, I have a song, I have a paragraph, I have a book, all kind of things. Whenever the year is starting, I go like, yeah, I start early, right? So I'm going to challenge you to make 2025 your year of self-indulgence. So whether or not you're actually going to choose another word for yourself, or you're going to actually take on the word self-indulgence or self-centered, right? Like if whatever it is that your word is, it doesn't even matter. But can you imagine if the new year, this 2025, you treated your self-development, your growth, your faithfulness to you with the same enthusiasm that you are giving to the holiday season? Can you imagine? So set goals that excite you. And I'm not talking about what is the name? Resolutions. I'm not talking about resolutions. Set some sights, set some dreams that excite you. Invest in your growth. Spend some money on things that are going to be about your mind, your heart, your soul. And create some rituals, habits, new things that you're going to do that will nourish your mind, body, and spirit. Imagine how different your life could look by the time you get to Christmas next year if you used your energy in that way. Can you imagine it? I can. I'm going to be doing that. So I want to make sure, guys, that you are setting yourself up for this manifestation that everybody talks about. I think it's wonderful to talk about it, but then what are you actually going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Right? So let's move from this space of worrying about everybody else and everything else, and instead really focus on self. Think about who you are, think about what you're doing, think about what matters to you, think about what you want to create for yourself, and start to wrap your mind around being self-indulgent in 2025. I'm voting for selfishness in 2025. Selfishness towards greatness in 2025. Okay. It may not be a popular opinion, but I'm fully there. I'm fully voting for it. And I don't business what nobody wants to say. I want to make sure that in 2025, you can actually grasp the benefits of being selfish in the most transformative way by indulging in your own growth through awareness, through mindfulness, and confidence. Because through those pillars, you can create a life that reflects your deepest desires. All right. So make self-indulgence one of your themes. Even if you have another word or another song, make self-indulgence one of your themes, you know, and take just some time today. It's Saturday or whenever you're watching this, just take some time and just kind of think about how you're going to indulge in yourself. Think about how you're going to make your year about you and make it so juicy that, it just thrills you how wonderful your year is. You just feel good. Even on a bad day, guys, because I have some pretty intense days. Even on a bad day, I can look at my life and I can say, boy, your life nice though. I'm so grateful that I created this wonderful life for myself. But I had to spend time focusing and being intentional about doing that. Okay? So that's what I'm inviting you to do. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me on Saturday Tea Time with the Balanced Lady Boss. Until next time, please remember to share, 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 share. If you're on TikTok, make sure that you follow me on TikTok. And if you're on TikTok, make sure that you go over to my YouTube channel, Stacy TV. I am Stacy Hines. Just look for I am Stacy Hines and make sure that you subscribe and share. All right. We are going to make this 2025 the best holiday season. The entire year going to be the holiday season of your life. Okay. Take care, guys, and thank you so much for joining. I will see you next week on another epic of Tea Time. Take care, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Bye-bye.